When you get a bigger yield, you get more chips out of the same raw materials, then you end up getting cheaper prices. So that's how it works, and it still works that way today. I traded him for I got him and an Arkanoid machine for a modded Xbox loaded up with games inside of a cabinet that came out of SC Johnson. That was a plastic piece, kind of like a computer cart.
Yeah.
So what he wanted was, he has a golf shop, and kids would come in, no one wanted to play Pac-Man anymore. I'm like, come on, the adults would, but not the kids.
Yeah.
So basically what I did was I took this Xbox, loaded up with games, put it in this plastic cart, put in like a 19-inch VGA TV, converted the Xbox to run on it.
Yeah.
It cost me maybe $200 or $300 and a lot of sweat, but then I got the Pac-Man, and it works great, and it's in good condition.
It is.
And then I also got the Arkanoid, which is one of my favorite games.
It's one of my favorites.
And the Space Invaders, I bought that in 1942, the sit-down version, for about $600 at a Guelph back in the 90s from a guy. And this Xbox unit I got for about $125 without the console and the TV from someone on the CGCC boards. Neo Geo I had for a while. My buddies and I were running a business where we bought arcade machines and pinball machines, and so those were the last ones, and I ended up, out of our partnership, I took the hardware and I gave them credit for computer pieces, so they both, I need a hard drive, apply it to my credit, so it didn't cost them any out of cash money. The track and field we have was donated to us. It was actually, someone was moving out west and they couldn't move it. They heard that I was collecting video games and said, do you want this thing? I said, I think so. Yeah. And the Galaga I bought from my buddy's brother out of Mississauga. I think I paid about $800 for that one a while ago. And then the main cabinet, which is the sort of the piece de resistance here, because it has everything in it, right? It has about 4,000 arcade games in it.
Wow.
We just built it. We built it out of an old Final Fight that was broken. So we took it apart. We put a PC in it. I used a TV rather than a computer monitor because I wanted it to be imperfect, just like the old arcade games are. And so we hooked up S-Video. So it's good, but it's not perfect. It's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And it's great. So, and of course, I have my Dragon's Lair on there, which is my favorite arcade game, and Space Ace and all those. And it even has like 2600 emulation if you really want to. But obviously, the arcade games are the
what you're playing for,
So it's a great unit. I mean, it cost me a bit of money in parts, but some collectibles up in there. So, for example, I have a boxed Turbo Duo, which is really, really hard to find. The Telstar, so it'd be like what I had when I was a kid. And I started a second gaming collection. That's why there's some special cartridges on the side. Because, I have some plans for my collection coming up, so I just started a second one. So again, apologize for the mess.
No worries. Wow.
But this is game room 1. Clico, you be a good boy.
Yeah. There it is.
So a little bit of everything in this room, for the most part, at least older stuff.
Wow.
So custom Pac-Man table.
That's crazy.
This is my retro rig. So I can put up to about 35 devices on here simultaneously, and just I don't have quite that many hooked up right now, but I hate unplugging things and plugging things in, so I like a rig where I can just press a couple buttons and be playing whatever I want to. And this was an old TV stand that was designed when I bought this 35-inch TV back in the day. I bought it in 1993 or so, early 1994. There wasn't a TV stand that was big enough for it. So my buddy actually modified. He took the top part and put it on the bottom and reinforced it to hold the weight.
Yeah.
And then we built a custom top and sides for it. And like when we moved it here, he built this here so that I could put systems on it.
That's the thing. They don't make them to support this.
Yeah, so this is a very, very unique
it's custom
rig. As are pretty much all my shelving.
Yeah.
It's actually quite unique. So
That's amazing.
It is. It's awesome.
This is a complete Xbox collection. So every North American game ever released. So you don't have to say, do you have?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I do. The answer is yes.
Follow the letter.
A lot of them are sealed too.
So a lot of them are sealed, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I used to always stay away from Platinum Hits, Greatest Hits, whatever. Now I've started, for some reason, I've started collecting those too. So.
But you go for the Black Label first and then? Yeah. That's what I like to do too.
Yeah. So I have 3DS games. I have a fairly healthy PSP collection. There's still lots to go, obviously. One of the things we're showing at game night is I took my Dragon's Lair control panel from the arcade. We mounted an old Wiko joystick to the top, wired it up with Makey Makey so that it's USB, and now we can play the Steam version of Dragon's Lair
On there.
in HD on PC with the original control panel.
That's cool.
So, and since the producer from Digital Leisure will be here, that's going to be a surprise for him.
That's
So, pinball machine. I've got gone fishing. So, I used to always go fishing with my dad, so it's always kind of important to me. And the Dragon's Lair 2, that's actually the marquee from the arcade machine. And we just built the box around it and turned it into a light box, so it lights up at game night. So same with that Sega sign, it lights up as
That's
well.
an awesome
It's
Sega sign.
Yeah.
Daniel, it's all you.
Sega Master System is probably going to be the next collection I work on completing, because I'm pretty much maybe 10 titles away. And I got
I was
these
going to say,
ones.
yeah, you got a
I
decent
got
one.
like Buster Douglas and all that stuff. I already got those. So 3DO games.
Wow.
PlayStation, such a big thing to do, so I think I'm going to start by completing the long box collection. There's like 100 and something of those, and I'm pretty much like maybe 75 to 80% of the way there. So this next game night's going to feature the Sega Master System with Ghouls and Ghosts on it. I have a bunch of like original handhelds, like the old Coleco Space Invader, which was the knockoff of Space Invaders.
Plural.
Yeah, that's how bad they were with copyright back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, just drop off the S and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We won't be sued. Yeah, and they weren't, so it was pretty sad. The Odyssey, so that's the very first gaming system, and it's in really, really good shape, complete in the box. So that's worth a fortune now. The Odyssey 2 in really nice shape in the box.
It's like the Atom thing. Those boxes, like almost the same cardboard, it just like falls apart as you open
even
it.
this NES is very minty, right? Like
Yeah.
this manual, like normally when you see these manuals now, they're just like destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? Like the dog's eating them or something.
Yeah.
And and I have some slightly, like I have the Jaguar and the CDI and the 3DO, which not everybody would have out. Like everyone has the NES and the other stuff, but some of the stuff's more unique. And in fact, for game night, we're going to be showing the Amiga CD32, which is the world's first 32-bit game console. And a lot of people don't even know what a CD32 is. So it's one of the consoles that just most people just don't even know is around. We're going to be showing the Back to the Future NES game. We're going to do it on the Retron, just to show.
One?
That's a Retron 1, yeah.
That's pretty
So I have a 1, a 2. Do I have 3? I think I'm missing the 3. There wasn't a 4. I have the 5. So this 2600 has a Harmony cartridge in it, so it has. You can put games on an SD card. So, so I have, like, for example, I have the ROM of our extraterrestrial game on here. We have the Halo game, which came out a couple years ago. So it's kind of nice because you can play anything. There's actually a bunch of good homebrew for the 2600. So the easiest way is just to use a Harmony card.